What's going on, guys? Back here again with the Jeep. Went over it kind of the first video when I did a little walk around on it, how I broke it, and I got it back. Anyway, trying to get the air conditioning fixed right now. I got a Jeep Air helping me out with it. They make like accessory kits. Like it's kind of like vintage air, but it's for Jeeps. You know, the air conditionings back then were kind of some bolt-on aftermarket pieces that you could put in. And the factory one, you know, it's just down there like that. But they make the kits universal. And this Jeep, when it came out, it was on R12, which is hard to find these days. I believe you have to have a license to get it. But other than that, there's just not a lot of shops that still supply it. So it's just something that's hard to come by. It's more expensive. So the compressor is obviously original in this thing. It doesn't work, doesn't kick on. Can't charge it because it's low on Freon. So it's something where you got to jump it to get it, to go in to actually accept the Freon. But since I don't have a license to fill them up and go buy R12, it's kind of pointless, and I'm sure the compressor needs to be replaced anyway. So I'm going to be converting it to R134A. But yeah, so got that going on. But man, what I wanted to talk about today was what broke. You know, obviously I got the Jeep all set up. I got it axle swapped. You know, it's got a Dana 44 in the back now with a Detroit locker, 10 factory shafts in it, the alloy shafts. You know, the new brakes, everything right. I refreshed the whole axle. The guy I bought it from, you know, he told me everything was good. I understand it was used, but it says in good working condition. And you know, he had taken it out of his XJ for a 1-ton swap. And the axle already came trussed with the same gears that my Jeep had already been geared to, which is 456. So to me, it seemed like a good deal. You know, I paid, I think it was $750 for it. You know, honestly, I wasn't necessarily expecting to have to re-gear the thing, you know, and put shafts in it and all that. But it's just kind of one of those things where when I actually went to go do it, I was like, man, maybe I should put a little extra money in it, you know, just keep it to where I don't need to, you know, make any changes to it later on. You know, kind of wanted to build it right things. And anyway, I got a phone call that the gears were trashed, and that both axle shafts had the splines bent. So, you know, nevertheless, I went ahead and did the 10 factory alloy shafts in it. I don't know if you can see here, but there's the shaft, but it has, you know, brand new drums. They got new shoes on it. So the brakes are 100% new on the thing. Sorry, it's hot out here. Gotta keep that topo going. Topo with lime. It's really good with vodka, just FYI. But anyway, axle already has a truss on it. It was already set up for the XJ spring over. I had to convert it back to spring under. My Jeep is not spring over. My last one was this one. You know, I got it stock when I bought it, and I hadn't really seen the need. You know, I keep up with JKs on 37s in this thing, so I'm honestly was going to you know, probably do that, or maybe do some links in the back. But just how it wheeled, man, it wheeled so good that I'll probably hold off on that for now. Realistically, I'll probably wind up doing either a new 4-liter, maybe a 4.6 stroker, maybe an LS swap. I don't know yet. I work for a Chevy dealership, so I can get a, you know, brand new crate motor for a pretty good deal. So I may consider doing that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I went ahead and did you know, the slip yoke eliminator. I didn't do it when I lifted it. It just had the transfer case drop in there, and you know, I didn't have any vibes or anything like that. A lot of people were like, oh, you got to do it right away, and I didn't. You know, it was one of those things where I was just cheaping out to get it on the road. You know, because when I bought it, it wasn't running. But you know, I elected to, you know, while it was at the shop, hey, let's just go ahead and knock it out, get it done. Anyway, so I did all that. Everything went good. Picked up the Jeep. Everything was good. Took it wheeling. And then, man, last obstacle out at Hidden Falls was going up. It wasn't even that extreme, but I'm assuming I probably damaged the shaft earlier in the day. I'm not sure, but it had no marks on it, you know, nothing crazy. The thing busted, you know. Thank God I did the SYE, because I was still able to, you know, I had my buddy George, he winched me off the rocks, and, you know, I was able to drive for a little bit, but then, you know, I was still pretty far back on the trail, so I had to have him tow me a little bit. Front wheel drive with no locker is definitely not the best for loose dirt, so he helped me get out of there, but it was still able to drive under its own power, you know, because it had the SYE. But anyway, let me show you the drive shaft, man. The drive shaft busted on me. You know, the yoke itself right here, you can kind of see where it just split. And yeah, I mean, shaft itself has no damage on it. I mean, it didn't hit anything. It came apart. It wasn't spectacular, but it was definitely loud, so I knew something broke. But man, I gotta say, Adams really took care of it. You know, the shop that I used, they took care of me. Got it all set up, got me a new drive shaft put in. Apparently my yoke on the Dana 44 that I got was incorrect for the Jeep. They wanted to figure out it was a TJ Dana 30 yoke, which I don't know why you'd put that on there, but anyway, they got me a new yoke, got it all set up, got it back in. Yeah, I got the new shaft in there now, so you can kind of see down here all set up. And yeah, it's working great, no issues with it. I haven't taken it wheeling again, but I've driven it on the street, no problem. But man, what I got going on right now, which I could definitely use some help on, is I have bead locks. So my Jeep has Raceline bead locks on it. Looks like they're actually made by Allied, but I think Raceline puts on the bead locks themselves and does the rings and all that. And I got Toyo, brand new Toyo 35 1350s. You know, 15-inch wheels, 8 inches wide. The main issue I'm having right now is balancing them. You know, they are balanced. They did get balanced. I didn't get them road forced. I'm trying to find a shop that'll do it. Everyone says do the BBs, but you know, I don't really think that that's what I want to do. Maybe I'm just telling myself that, but you know, there's tons of dudes out there with bead locks that don't use that. So I'm hoping to go the regular route and not have to worry about putting BBs in my tires, because mounting and dismounting these are a pain in the ass. In fact, I paid extra for it because it's that much of a pain in the ass. You don't get charged a regular mount and balance like a regular tire shop, but they look so good. Like, you know, I love the way they give the Jeep a real aggressive look. And you know, it's an older Jeep. I mean, it's all steel, which is great, but I don't want to get rid of them. I'm like really trying to find a way to make these work, because I like them a lot. I like the look of them. They work well off-road. You can run like 6 pounds in the tires without having to worry about dropping a bead. I mean, they perform flawless, so I want to keep them. So I just need some suggestions. If anyone knows anything, any tricks. Does road forcing work? Can you get these road forced? I don't know. My dealer's just not willing to do it, so I'm just hoping for some suggestions there. But also too, on the air conditioning, this is my next project. Has anyone converted their R12 system to R134A? You know, apparently there's an expansion valve in here somewhere that I have to get replaced. I'm going to tackle that myself. So if anyone can figure out or knows of a write-up that's out there, or a video that's out there that shows how to do it, that applies to the Jeep, the YJ, specifically with a 4-liter, it'd be much appreciated if you could send me the message and a link, or share it whatever way. But yeah, so that's what I got going on right now. You know, just want to kind of go over the issues I had with the Jeep as far as that drive shaft goes, and really say that the shop that built it, you know, River City Off-Road here, they took real good care of me. And then Adams drive shaft, man, they warrantied the shaft. They didn't have to do that, you know. You know, obviously I bought it. It's an off-road part. You wouldn't expect to really get a warranty on something like that, especially because they know if you put that type of part on your rig, it's for abuse. You're going to use it off-road. You're going to hit it on stuff, you know. And in my case, it was improper parts that I had due to the guy I bought the axle from, which, you know, I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt, but when I messaged the guy about it, he just wasn't it's kind of one of those things like, hey, you bought it, what did you expect? You know, well, I kind of go by my word. You know, if I say something's good, you know, it's good. If it's not, it's not. You know, and ironically, you know, the deal really is you know, you can kind of do it either way. But sorry guys, my wife pulled up, so I had to move all my shit out of the way. But real quick, I'm gonna take this thing down the street. We're gonna kind of test out the flex. I don't have an RTI ramp, so we're gonna see what we can do on some ditches. I'm gonna film it. We'll check it out in a minute. Man, I was gonna try and find a ditch, but the neighborhood by my house, there's builders everywhere, so I don't wanna be that dude driving through a new neighborhood. So I found an empty lot, so here it is. Flexed out as much as I could, found the biggest rock right here. So you can kind of see the travel in the suspension as far as what it has. The spring under axle is not too bad. It's got 25 pounds in the tires right now, so it's obviously hitting the fender there. You can kind of see, but when it's all aired down, it doesn't have any problems. You hear it, but obviously it doesn't damage anything. Just rub the paint off a little bit, but I'm gonna wind up trimming it up. But yeah, it flexes out pretty good for being spring under axle. 4-inch lift on the suspension, 1-inch on the body. It's not too bad. It's a good stable combination, and I've been happy with it so far. So yeah, any questions, man? A couple people sent me messages asking me what the setup is. So it's 35s, 1350s, 15-inch wheel, 8 inches wide, 4-inch suspension, 1-inch body, and that's what it does. So yeah, any other questions, just feel free to send them over. This Jeep's far from done, I promise you that. And yeah, just look out for the next upload. It's gonna be on my wife's Tahoe, on her Z71. I'm gonna take it off road, mess around a little bit, and see if we can't get into a little bit of trouble with it. But I don't expect it's gonna do too well, because obviously it's whatever it weighs, 5,000–6,000 pound rig with no lockers, and it's stock. It's got skid plates, so it's got that going for it. But yeah, all right guys, well, till next time, thanks, peace.